Good evening. Welcome to the August 13th meeting of the Historic Architectural Review Board for the City of Scranton. My name is Michael Muller. I'm the chair, and I'll start with a roll call.
Bill Lesniak, Architectural Heritage Association.
Katie Gilmartin, member at large.
Conrad Bosley, real estate broker.
John Finnerty, solicitor.
Okay. First order of business is a review of our last meeting minutes from July 10th. They have been distributed. Assuming everyone's had a moment to look them over, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Okay, Katie, is there a second?
I was not at the meeting.
No one was here? I'll make the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved. We only have a few applications tonight. The first is for a project at 121 Adams Avenue. This is the Verizon building. It seems to be a penthouse facade replacement. There's a pretty detailed drawing set here outlining not only the architecture but the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. It seems to be barely noticeable from the road, but I did notice it. Do you guys have any questions on the project? Has anyone ever been inside this building? It's fascinating. I mean, I'd love to know.
No, I know.
All the windows are boarded up. It's like, what happens in there?
My mom worked there
Really? Like as a switch?
when she was in college. Yeah.
Well, the applicant is not here, so I don't know. There's no questions. There's no one to ask of anyway. So is everyone comfortable motioning on this application?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone want to take a crack at approval?
I'll make a motion to approve it as presented.
Conrad, is there a second?
I'll second.
Bill, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Next up, we have a project at 111 Wyoming Avenue. This is John's team. If you wouldn't mind just introducing yourselves for our YouTube audience and the record, that'd be appreciative. And also maybe take us back a little bit, because I think this project started, I think we reviewed this once before, but I forget what how that was handled.
John Basiliga, president of J. Bass Realty.
Katie Kearns.
I'm Desmond Ryder, director at J. Bass Realty.
If you want to introduce the project, I don't know if you remember the history on this, John, but you guys came once before. I think we talked about just windows.
Yeah, on November 14th, 2024, Mike, we were here, and it's a building 109, 111 Wyoming Avenue. Back then, we had approval for windows. We had to come back in for the facade. So that's why we're here tonight. What we're trying to do is unify the front. It's actually two different parcels, two different buildings. Katie's going to hand out some of the paperwork here. There's 7 copies.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. That's a sturdy piece of paper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I should say I have to recuse myself, obviously, because of our working relationship, but I'm happy to entertain the conversation here.
Yeah, basically, Mike, we're just taking 2 old buildings that, had broken windows, been vacant for a really long time, and unifying the front facade. The grand plan is to put 2 commercial tenants, one on 109 and one on 111. 111 already has a bookstore that's doing really well, and up above each side is 2 apartments, so a total of 4 units and 2 commercial units. that we have in the booklet is some of the materials we're using along with the renderings of the front. Some of the brick on the right-hand side is going to remain. The exterior has an EFIS system on it that just needs some repair. The left side, we're going to remove the EFIS and try to expose the existing brick and put some, brick infill where it needs to be, and then the front has to be totally redone. If you look in the middle, there's that vertical signage. That's kind of what was there a long time ago. So it sort of ties to the historical look of the building, and we could put some signage there or whatever the apartment complex will be.
And are these buildings now functioning as one? Because they were two separate structures, correct?
Yeah, there's still two. There's firewall between them. We're just trying to unify the front facade. But yeah, they'll be totally different tax parcels as well.
John, wasn't there like original embellishments on one or both buildings? I think terracotta or maybe steel?
Yeah, there was a lot of
No way
like
to save that?
ornamental tin work. It was just
Yeah.
rotted right out, and
Yeah.
we weren't able to save any of it, unfortunately.
Kind of nice. Yeah, I remember that. That was,
And from this rendering, it's hard to see the depth of the front, but this is going to be like an old style, basically what was there. But it'll look really good. You're looking at it from just a one dimension right now. Oh, yeah, side view too. Some exterior lights that'll light up that center street a little bit more. I think it'll be a good addition to that block.
so the front, that's not real brick that'll be put in, that's imitation?
It's actually going to be real brick, but it might be a veneer only.
Okay.
But it will be a real brick product.
Okay.
And are there any samples of any materials available? Okay.
Yeah, Kate, on the last page, the technical data, it'll show you all the things. I think it has websites, all the material as well.
There's like some photos, the quality may not be obviously the rendering.
Right.
But there are website links in here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stone and brick.
I don't know, I know, and do we have one conflict or two? I'm unclear.
I have a conflict.
You have a conflict. You do have a conflict, Conrad? Or no?
I might.
I don't feel so.
I personally might like a little bit more time just to take a look at some of these websites and see the materials, if that's, I don't know, Bill, you feel that way?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think, were these in the originals?
Where?
I don't recall seeing that.
Let me see.
They look like the rendering. I'm just, for the sake of time, I'd like to get the project going. I've been back here a few times already. You've seen our other work, what we do. We don't do anything that's vinyl or anything cheap like that. It's stone, it's brick. Everything's right in the back here.
Was that?
Yeah.
And back in November when we came here, the only thing we had to come back for were the finishes on the front, which we provided today.
Since we don't, there are only two of us who are completely unconflicted here, and we are just getting this information now, I would propose a motion to table.
Well, if I call, yeah, sure.
Here, Dennis.
Is there, is there an avenue where we could give you a week? Or is it only monthly? I'm asking for the sake of asking.
Well, I think there's two challenges here. First is there's two conflicts and then two votes.
Oh, so that doesn't get you past the finish line?
I don't know what happens. What happens with,
Well, we need a majority vote to approve the project. So there's 4 board members here, so we need 3 votes to approve it.
for any vote?
Excuse me?
I mean, well, for an approval, we need a majority vote.
Correct.
Okay.
But we also could consider a special meeting if schedules allowed, correct? So to that point, it wouldn't necessarily have to be a month out.
I'm just trying to do work while the sun's shining,
Of
you know?
course, absolutely.
If you have 4 members and 2 conflicted, I'll never get the 3rd vote. No.
We have a 5th member.
We have a fifth, who's just not here.
Or if there were only 3 board members, you'd only need 2 votes.
I say majority.
I just never know when the 5th person will be here.
Well,
It's like playing whack-a-mole.
I would suggest that there has to be some way that we can make this make it progress, you know, as
On the meeting
quickly as
angle?
possible with the
Thank you.
least delay as possible, because, you know, winter's coming already.
Totally,
you know,
Karen, I
right,
agree.
Right,
I agree. I don't feel we're conflicted either, if that matters, but
you know.
for the record.
The only level of delay that we would have in terms of other things, and correct me if I'm wrong, Attorney Kennedy, but we would just have to make sure we had the posting in the newspaper within the required amount of time. So as long as we, like I posting tomorrow, and then as long as we have it for the advertised amount of time that we have in the ordinance, then we can have the meeting whenever you guys would like to have the meeting.
When is the time frame for sunshine?
I have to double check. I think it's 5 days. It could be 8. I will confirm 100% and shoot everybody a notice, including the applicant,
And-
if you choose to go that direction.
I don't know if this is across the board, but isn't it different for a special meeting?
It may be different for a special meeting. Again, this is like a little bit of outside of our normal realm, so I'm not super familiar with what the exact policy is. Are you by any chance?
The most it would be was 8 days. So, I mean, it's either 8 days, 7 days, 5 days, or 1 day. So the most it's 8. So you could potentially schedule a meeting for next week to address it.
If it makes any difference, the project was already approved conditionally, so we had conditional approval already. It's just this little bit of material on the front facade. I don't know if that changes anything.
I don't think it does. I think we still need the board to vote to approve what's been presented tonight.
You know, the way most applications work, we have 10 days to review everything. So I think some of this is coming in right now. So I have to at least acknowledge your comment about wanting to review it. I think that's fair.
But I also don't think anyone has seconded that, correct?
Yep.
I'll second that.
The motion to table.
Okay. Is there discussion on that?
I just think that the possibility of holding this up, I would like to see it expedited, you know, as soon as, you know, as possible.
If I may ask a question, I don't know if you want to conclude your motion? I don't know how this works.
We're still in discussion, so that's
Okay. Just so I understand in the future, how do we avoid this? Because I didn't realize that we were throwing information on you at the last moment. So would I update my application through CityGov or whatever the website is, or?
That would be an effective way. I apologize. I was under the impression that the materials that we had been supplied would be sufficient, and those specific material specs were not included. So I guess in future we would include all potential material specs and stuff, but I felt as though your application was thorough enough. So
You want us to bring in physical samples, stone and brick? I've never seen that before.
no,
That's why.
no, you do not need to do that. I mean,
Within-
there are pages in the application that you handed them that were not submitted with the Harb application. So that would be the only change, but I really don't blame you guys for not having included that, because the details specifically are on the one sheet, but do not have the links to them. So I see where Ms. Gilmartin is coming from, and I also see why this would never have even clocked you, but yeah.
But I do think the application indicates samples if possible. I mean, certainly, I understand there might be circumstances where that wouldn't happen, but we have had, I remember a roofing project, tile samples, and so we have had that happen from time to time. But, I mean, certainly, I think website links are also sufficient, but.
It's stone and brick, it's just the color. Okay.
So there's a motion and a second. I guess I'll call a vote. I guess, is there any clarity on when we can meet again? I mean, are you able to find?
So make sure Katie's with us, the other Katie.
Sorry to put you on the spot, Jacob.
I should really have the ordinance just pulled up anyways. Give me one moment. But I can say that there are no meetings on the agenda besides City Council on Tuesday, for next week for City Council chambers. So we would be able to, in theory, meet at any point.
So we can schedule as soon as advertising allows.
Right.
As soon as advertising, yeah. And the Times still does advertising on Fridays. So as long as I put the ad in tomorrow, it will run on Saturday's paper, and then that will start the count.
So can you restate your motion? Are we tabling?
Motion to table to a special meeting to be scheduled as soon as possible.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you.
We didn't get a vote here.
I didn't vote.
Does that carry?
Does that carry?
We don't, I mean, we're recused, so.
I'll vote to table. I'll vote to table.
That's 3 votes that have.
Motion carries.
We can hang, I'm happy to hang on to this, because I do want to look at this. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, we have an additional application for the address 501 Linden Street, which I believe is a signage package. And there's no one here to represent that address. This is Frank's Corner Store.
Thanks, news.
Yep. So they're renaming it from Frank's News to Frank's Corner Store. It looks to be roughly the same size of a sign to replace the existing sign.
And what about the materials
Is it
on
just a banner?
this? Is it,
that a banner?
is it vinyl?
It is a polymetal panel.
Okay. Oh, vinyl decal lettering, that's what I was seeing.
Okay.
Okay.
1/8 inch thick ACM board. I think it's 2 feet by 16 feet, although it says 2 inches by 16 inches.
Because this is not the most flattering photo,
No.
but I understand that might just be for description purposes here. I am interested, though, in the shape of it, that it's not exactly in kind with what is already there, which, in my opinion, does have is a little more sympathetic to the rest of the building. But I also understand maybe that's just the way this is coming up on these pictures.
I could be incorrect, but I did speak to the applicant about supplying a more accurate photo. That was the only one he was able to supply, so it is possible that it is actually rectangular shape, but I can't say for sure.
I would be in favor of matching the original shape. I think it's a little more tasteful than.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like a banner.
Are we comfortable making that motion without the applicant here to confirm?
Or shall we table this as well? I mean, I don't want to be inconsistent and ask one applicant for more materials and more information, and then
Fair.
So I would make a motion to table in anticipation of either a more accurate photo or potentially those changes being made.
Would you
Can we
also
put
want to
it put
hear
it on
this
the
at
same
the...
time frame as the
other one.
as the other one?
That'd be fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Conrad, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, that's it for our applications. Under new business, we have an invoice for our solicitor. The total amount is $1,440.
That is actually a slight typo. I misread. That was the current work balance. The total amount that we need to pay on this invoice is $3,249. That's on the last page.
And that's accurate with the document I'm holding in my hand. $3,249, and this is for time from April through June 17th. Assuming there's no exception, I'll entertain a motion to approve the solicitor's invoice.
So moved.
Is there a second? Katie, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations on getting paid.
We approved it. He
Thank you
didn't
for
get paid
tabling
yet.
that motion.
Our next regularly scheduled meeting is September 11th. We'll hear about a special meeting potentially next week. If there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
First.
So moved.
I'll make a motion first to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good evening.